Morbid Maniacs, it's time for another spooky video. And for tonight's spooky video, I'm going to be talking all about White Lady Lane, located in Wahalla, North Dakota. The story begins in the early 20th century with a young girl by the name of Anna Young. Anna was a young girl who lived in a little shack which was right beside the railroad tracks. And around the same time, there was also a young peddler who carried goods throughout the area named Samuel Khalil. Samuel would constantly ride his bike along the neighborhood, selling his wagon load of pots, pans, and other household items. When stumbling over the little shack, the boy fell in love with Anna. He wished to marry the young girl, however, the mother would not allow it. But she did make a deal with him. She stated that if the boy was to come back a year later, when Anna was 16, that she would allow him to marry her if in return she could use his goods, borrow his goods. And the boy agreed and returned a year later, but when he got there, the mother refused to allow him to see Anna and slammed the door in his face. She would also refuse to return any of the borrowed items which she had taken from the boy. Being angered at how he was treated and not being able to see Anna, the young man pushed the mother to the side and shot Anna dead in her nightclothes. The mother tried to stop him, but he shot her in the face, breaking her jaw. Anna's other family members would escape, going out of a back window and running for help. The man would then attempt unaliving himself through shooting, however, his gun had ran out of bullets. When that plan had backfired, the man would then attempt to take out his trusty old rusty pocket knife and attempt to his throat. However, the knife, not being very sharp and very dull, did not puncture his skin. It was during this time the police would be involved on the crime and the man would give himself up without a fight. Mr. Khalil would be sentenced to life in a state penitentiary in Bismarck, but would later be released 10 years later at the age of 71 to relatives in Minnesota, only serving a sentence of 10 years. The mother was said to have lived to have told the tale, but Anna wasn't so lucky. So there was in fact a actual person named Anna Story, and this story actually was true. It did have some truth to it. And one version of the story talks about Anna getting pregnant out of wedlock. She met Sam, who took advantage of her kindness. He used her for money and for goods, and it wouldn't take long before she would end up falling pregnant. This would highly upset her overly religious parents, and they would force her to marry him. Now, Sam was not happy at all about this wedding or this marriage. However, shortly after tying the knot, Anna would lose the baby. This would send her into a deep depression, feeling as though she had nowhere to turn to and nobody to count on. Anna would run away to a bridge in the woods. This is where she would unalive herself via hanging. And when she was found missing and did not return, a small search party was sent out to look for her. The girl's parents had disowned her, and the husband, having no want in the marriage, was relieved to find her body dangling in the wedding gown. In this version, many locals or passers-by have claimed to see her apparition hanging from the bridge. Some even report her throwing herself from the bridge, and when they get out to help her, she vanishes without a trace. Legend states that Anna, still in shock over what happened, now haunts a misty bog known as Eddie's Bridge. She wears a white flannel nightgown, and she wanders anxiously for peace in the afterlife. It's been said that if you find yourself along White Lady Lane at night, You may just come across the apparition of the young girl pacing up and down the road, or sometimes sitting on the edge of the bridge. There are reports of a woman crying and screaming, and many who travel along Eddie's Bridge and White Lady Lane find themselves stumbling upon it. They report feeling drawn there, even though they didn't intend to end up there. The bridge spans a small creek between the towns of Leroy and Wahalla near Minnesota and Manitoba. It is located on a narrow, overgrown road which leads to the Tetralt Woods. This area is also known as White Lady Lane. The old gravel road is very narrow and will continue until it's barely wide enough for a car. The woods which surround the bridge are said to be very dark and eerie. There are actual reports of a shooting to a young girl named Anna Story. So there is the story of the White Lady Lane. What do you guys think of this spooky urban legend? I feel like there's a white lady story or like a vanishing hitchhiker story in like almost every state, but as I said before, I do believe that every urban legend stems from some sort of truth, and maybe that's where this one came from. Let me know what you guys think of this legend. Let me know if you've ever experienced anything on White Lady Lane. I would love to know in the comments. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a big ol' thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you have not already, and become a morbid maniac. Also, be sure to head on over to my second channel, which is Mel Vlogs as of right now when I'm filming this, but I'm thinking of changing the name. So feel free to leave any of your suggestions in the comments. That's where I'll be posting all of my vlogs, all of my other random videos, and I just now started ASMR on there. So if you're interested in that, please go on over and subscribe. And also be sure to hit that bell notification, that way you get notified every single time I upload a new video. And I love you guys so much, and I will see you in my next one.